Yeah.
Plan?
Yep.
Okay, call the meeting to order. Let's start by doing a pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have the agenda in front of us. Any additions that we need or any changes that we need to make?
The only thing I maybe considered adding was going over our 2026 calendar and dates. This doesn't talk about it and not an approval, but if you wanna wait until the December meeting, I'm fine with
We should probably start working on it, huh?
Okay.
I know we're gonna change it several times, but
Well, I'm hoping we don't have to change it as many times this next year, but
Go ahead, calendar to list, anything else significant?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion, approve the agenda, second, all in favor? Aye. And approved. And the minutes from the October 7th and the October 8th meeting. Have you had a chance to read through those? Everything look good in the minutes? And I hear a motion to approve the minutes for October 7th and October 8th meetings.
So moved. I'll second motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved. Bills. For the S10 lawn service, we do, is this just for the courthouse yard, or is that,
That's for,
we do a contract with them?
that's for all the state highways. That's the contract to spray 25, 31. The contract with the lead board.
That's one with the weed board has, okay, nothing to do with the spraying in the courthouse.
Oh God, that's an awful lot of spraying.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, that seems like a lot of money. We'll just, okay.
Did Keith talk to you guys, mention about trying to get that field pumped out?
haven't heard from him.
Okay.
You mentioned
He
it.
did talk to us about it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. We were gonna set up a trailer with a tote and then we'll get it pumped out and get it out of there.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll just pass these out one at a time. These are the extra ones that weren't listed.
I thought you'd be gone for the winter.
You're not leaving me yet. Ain't get rid of me, Dave.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Pretty much wrapped it up out there for the winter though.
They're done pretty well, yeah.
He went that way.
Which one? Southwest Region Bridge inspection. Southwest Region Bridge inspection.
That's through the state.
We get those fairly regularly, they
Yeah.
come out and do inspections
Yeah,
on.
they put them on a rotation. They just automatically do it. So
Yes, it is what it is. Provided there's no water trucks sitting on them, huh?
yep.
The battery energy storage.
That was the ordinance that was approved. And I did publish that Thursday.
Okay. That's all there.
Yep.
For the eminent plumbing, do we have everything completed, or there's something on that list yet?
There's another item that we didn't approve with the quote, it was some, I can't remember what he called it, but it's that thing that you put on the pipe to reduce the line scale. That didn't get approved because that wasn't in the quote that he had sent us. So,
I was thinking of something.
yeah, there's one more thing, I don't remember if he sent me the updated quote for that, so.
All this, Dana safety equipment, that's all equipment for the police vehicles, and sheriff's vehicles. That's just for the new ones, or that's?
Yeah, it's the new ones.
Nothing for the older ones, or, okay. Do you got everything you needed then for the vehicles and those?
Yeah, I think we got everything. I mean, we had to replace a couple antennas on there because radios didn't have very good reception when they got out of town, but we replaced the antennas and we're good to go, I think.
Do you still need 2 new computers?
Or 4. I'm still waiting on bids on them. I told Jen we'd bring it up in December because I don't have any prices yet.
Okay.
So.
But we sure have a lot of bills to the Center Republican building. And that
That's a hard one, because all of that is a requirement, most of that is a requirement by law, so we really can't get out of that one, so.
well, they have that ordinance one.
Minutes and ads and everything like that too.
Take you with.
Let's go this way, I think.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pay all the bills.
Motion to approve the bills.
Make a motion.
Second paying the bills, second. We need a roll call vote on this. Aye.
Aye.
We will pay the bills. JD Hanson, Spring Creek Watershed Letter of Support.
Yeah, so that's what I'm after. The soil district is moving forward. We've been water testing for 2 years on the Squirrel Creek watershed, starting here at Center out south of town, all the way to by Harmon where it flows in. The results is there are some issues with phosphorus and E. coli in the creek. So we're moving forward with a grant that would bring, I don't know, I got the numbers off the top of my head, but about $600,000 into the county for producers to help improve the creek. And I'm just looking for a letter of support from the county.
So are there certain areas that are worse than others as far as creeks? Like the one by mine or the one further south?
I actually haven't seen the full data yet. The health department just sent me a summary that the phosphorus is bad, but I mean, I can show that when I do get it. That'll be, info that we pass out to the public in areas we target, so.
So you haven't identified the source, it's just a general.
It's non-point source, it's gonna come
It's
from,
non-point.
it's gonna be, I mean, there's no, it's egg related or animal related or, just.
So the process on this letter now, you prepare the letter you said that?
I can get you an example or whatever. I'm just looking for a letter of support that I can add into our grant app that's going in next week, so.
You wanna get me a sample and I'll work with it and I'll get,
I think we should support it. I'll make that motion to provide a letter of support to JD.
I'll second that. Okay, a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Can you get something, or do we get it from the state?
No, I got
or
examples, so.
process? Okay, you'll work with.
yes, I will work with him.
Okay. Okay, we have motion and a second to go ahead with it. So, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Alice, what do you have for us? Okay, could you explain what we're doing here, Alex, with the emergency declaration?
Yeah, I'm asking that our county declare an emergency due to the ongoing federal government shutdown. The flow of federal funds supporting critical assistance programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, WIC, and the Oregon Energy Assistance Program have been interrupted. The interruption threatens the continuity of, essential food and energy benefits for vulnerable residents within Oliver County. The interruption of these federal programs constitutes a significant and imminent threat to the health, safety, and welfare of county residents, and declaring a local state of emergency will enable the county to mobilize emergency funds and personnel to assist affected households, coordinate with nonprofit and community partners, North Dakota Department of Emergency Services, Government of North Dakota to expand food and energy support services, and by passing normal administrative procurement restrictions to respond swiftly to urgent needs. It's for the necessity to protect the well-being of residents and to ensure the county is positioned to respond effectively to the widespread impacts of the federal benefits interruption. And I have been speaking with the local food pantries. I did send out a community letter to the schools, to the cities, to the county as well, and they put out on their websites about where the local food pantries are, where they can find assistance. We did pass this emergency declaration in Mercer County yesterday.
Mo, do you have anything to add?
Well, I was just gonna mention, and I did get to read the proclamation, thank you, Alice. Right now, WIC is funded through November by the state. And as of this morning, as far as LIHEAP, we were told 2-3 weeks ago that we were good for November. But that, this morning, nobody's said anything counter to that article in the newspaper. So as far as we know, LIHEAP will still be okay for November. It's SNAP and the food. I've done some checking around with different food pantries in the zone, and they are seeing an increased traffic. Right this week, supplies are okay. I'm not going to say good. I'll just say okay. And then Great Plains is supposed to be bringing in for all the food pantries some more next week. And as a zone, we are taking a pallet too, so we can kind of be a backup to the food pantries, that ones that get hit hardest. And plus, if we have walk-ins that need it. So I was just here to let you know that we support and we're doing what we can, and I will gladly work with whoever.
Okay, Mercer County has,
Yep, we signed it yesterday. We declared it yesterday.
any other?
Trail and steel.
Trail and Steel, and I think McLean County's looking at doing that too.
Yeah.
The State Emergency Service Department was suggesting that we do that, at least at the county level.
Okay.
So it just gives us some more flexibility to work with the state partners during this time. And hopefully they'll open the government up, and once the government's opened up, this would be null and void. Once the SNAP benefits and all that get back up.
Have you got any comments? I don't have a problem with it. I think we need to do it.
And just remember to look out for your community members, your seniors, especially that might be shut-ins. If you know of anybody that can't get to the food pantries that need food, they can call me. We'll figure out a way to get them the food that they need. Absolutely.
Okay, yes, Mo, yeah, go ahead.
Several of the food pantries I did talk to have extended their hours. Wart and Beulah has added an hour on one at night and Monday through Friday. Garrison extended their hours, so a lot of the pantries and commodities have been extending their hours and more days and stuff, just because of this.
And for those hunters, if they want to donate meat to the food pantries, they can. It just has to be processed at a licensed butcher shop. They can't just process it themselves and then donate it. It has to be processed there. But they can donate the meat.
So when you say increased traffic at them, they can only get so much, right? They can't come in and hoard
No,
something.
the one that really gave me some numbers was Hagen. Excuse me. They get one time a month, and they get so many pounds. And they most of the pantries are connected to Great Plains Food Bank, so I couldn't come here and get an allotment and then run up to Hayes and Beulah because they're connected and it'll show who's picked up anywhere. So there should not be any hoarding. There probably will be, but should not be.
I guess I'll make that motion to approve this proclamation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Approved.
Keep this up, we'll be done in a half hour.
It'll be a record for you guys.
Okay, also, Alice, you have,
Yes.
courthouse janitor.
It was brought to my attention, I got a phone call about this, that, it was seen that our courthouse janitor was in front of a computer one night while she was here at work. My biggest concern with that is cybersecurity. She is not a county employee user for computers. And even if she can't get into our stuff, it leaves the possibility of the bad viruses or whatever getting hooked onto that computer by going on websites or whatever. So I don't think she should have access to computers. And then it just questions, why are we at a computer when you are not a computer user?
Has she been confronted with this, or has someone given her the approval, or what do we know?
I was told that that person's computer she was using, she had told her that she can use it. But it's county government computers. And I'll tell you right now, I went to cybersecurity with the state and they get thousands a day on their networks of somebody trying to get in. We have to be very careful with our computer systems here in the county. And I just want to make sure that the people that are using computers are authorized to use those computers.
Do we have anything legal ramifications?
Well, okay, so there's absolutely no reason why the janitor should be looking at a computer. I think that whoever allowed that to happen should be strongly talked to about it. And I think that the janitor, you should be looking at taking some corrective action, if not termination. It's very serious.
There is tremendous amount of risks when you open a computer up. Right now, I can't even get onto my laptop because the state's doing some type of security thing with my trying to internal connections. So one wrong click and it could take out your whole system, or they can ransom your information.
You guys have any suggestions?
No, I guess for now, Alice should probably talk to both that are involved.
And revisit this in a month.
And I guess
So you'll visit with
I'll
them,
visit with them,
with
yes.
our concerns?
Yes.
the question comes up, if there's time to sit on the computer,
Do we need that many hours?
yeah.
Okay, so
I'll visit
you'll
with
take
both
care of
of
that,
them.
Alice, as far as
I will.
making the
And then
contact.
I'll just remind all the county employees who have computers to make sure they lock their computers when they walk away.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the next month's agenda, Gene. Thanks, Mo.
Thank you.
Okay. Sheriff Department updates. You gonna update us, Dave?
Okay, we got our, two vehicles, they're, being used right now. Jim has one and Bryce has the other. Everything seems to be going good with both of them. Other than that, we are going to be having our sheriff's sale on the 21st of this month for all the vehicles that were in the impound.
So one of the vehicles, or two of them will be, come up, two that you got rid of now, or you got rid of one, or what?
No.
So we should have an extra sheriff vehicle,
We
right?
have an extra one now, yes.
Is that one going to be part of the sale?
Not as of now.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay.
We just have the vehicles that were in the impound that were
Okay.
listed on there. And hopefully we can have all of them cleared out on the 21st. And I believe on the 20th, I believe it was, they can come in and look at them, and if anybody is interested in any of the vehicles, and we did set a minimum bid on each vehicle of 150, which will kind of somewhat cover our towing charges. But other than that, do you have anything on the grant? That's
Still waiting government shutdown when that's done.
on our grant.
That cops grant for an additional officer, until the government shutdown's over, we're not gonna hear anything, so.
You haven't given anybody a ride in the back seat yet?
No, not yet.
Volunteered?
First,
Well, no, I don't think I've ever had one.
Go on the left side.
that's all involved to get one.
Cage attack.
Oh, you have many options. All depends on what you wanna do.
Just phone call.
Okay, have we ever scheduled or gotten together for the meeting with the city that we've talked about several times before the end of the year?
I guess I have not, no.
I will send another email and see if we can get something scheduled.
Is the meeting necessary? I know we,
I know we talked about it, even when we met, was it 2 years ago, to renegotiate the term. They had said that they wanted to meet almost yearly, just as an update, not to talk about the contract, but as an update of, you know, what we're both getting, and, I don't think we met. I mean, we haven't met yet, and I haven't heard when. I said towards the end of the year. Well, we're like a month away from the end of the year, so I will reach out to the city again and see if we can get something set up. Unless you feel that we should need to, I guess let me know.
do you think we should meet?
I don't think you can hurt anything. I mean, kind of stay ahead of things, I guess.
It'd be probably more of just an informational type meeting,
Yeah.
because at that meeting, I don't believe we'll discuss any contracts at all. It'll just be.
No.
Our
Just
contract
nothing.
It doesn't end until
Information
27th,
exchange.
so.
I think our contract is already
For 2 more years.
Yeah, for 2 more years. So, so far, I don't think I think everything's going good.
Okay, good.
So,
Well, Back to Blue, is that you too?
yes, that was a grant that was sent out by the state, I guess. It can be divided between the department. How did you?
Basically, it's a retention grant it's a officer retention grant put out by the state of North Dakota. They put it through the last legislature. If we applied for it, it was granted to us. So
There's
the way
a packet of information.
Yeah, the way I understand it is the administrator can come down and divvy it out, whatever amounts he sees fit. So, I don't know, Dave, if you got anything to add to that?
So we got an email from Danelle Presky with NDACO on Tuesday. And she basically has in there kind of what the requirements are and how it should be handled. It's a retention bonus to current law enforcement officers and correctional officers. It could also cover tuition and fee payments, which we don't have, so it'd be more for retention bonuses. The requirement that the legislature put in this round is that the county commissioners have to authorize the money to be spent, but the sheriff gets to decide how it gets split amongst the peace officers. I did get some clarification because there were questions amongst the auditors group about who qualifies and how it's supposed to be split, so that's also included in there. It is for It can be divided however the sheriff feels is appropriate, so it doesn't have to be an equal amount per officer. It is only for licensed peace officers and correctional officers, and so the deputies and the sheriff are the only ones qualified to receive it, so Carrie would not qualify to get it. And then they just have to be off of probation to receive the funds, which everybody we have is not on probation, so we should be fine there. The total amount I have highlighted that we received, when this was applied for, it was during that period of where we had approved a fifth person. So the total amount we got was $14,097.75. Equally split per officer, that'd be $2,819.55. But again, that's at your discretion to decide how that would be divided. It's just that the commissioners have to approve or authorize that, how you decide that. This year, it's a little different than they did it 2 years ago, so.
I mean, we've received this grant,
In
several times.
23, the 23-24 legislative year, it was received also. Janelle has in there how it was split out. 62% of the counties, same amount to all their staff. 31% was based on length of service, 1% was based on rank, and 1% was based on work performance. The only thing that I need from you when you do decide is I will probably have to do the reporting to the Attorney General's office, because we are required to give them a report by March of 27,
Where the money went.
where it went and how it was divided out, so.
So if we take
So Dave, you'll work with Jaden on
Yeah.
that?
And I just, basically what I need is, Danelle has some wording in this, paperwork here, kind of, a motion or a resolution along the lines of the commissioners authorize the sheriff to expend the peace officer and correctional officer funds, per the categories outlined as follow: retention bonuses or tuition fees. I mean, we really just need a motion similar to that you're good with him expending it and letting me know how it gets spent. And it does go through payroll. And then the last time we did it, has to go through the payroll for purposes.
Okay, that last page, it says also there was a comment made about this is only for employees that have been with the agency for 5 years.
Yes, and
That was your question.
that was my question to the Attorney General's office, because the auditors group had been throwing out, well, do you know this? Do you know this? So I just emailed the Attorney General's office and was like, hey, you guys are the
We
authority.
also did check on that.
Yep, and they said, no, there's no
Yeah.
length of service so long as they're off probation.
Yep.
So, cause I think there was a comment made that they had heard that they had to be employed for 5 years or something like
Well,
that.
it was saying something that, so that's why I
So
checked it out.
I did clarify and get information on that, because I'm like, the last time it wasn't like that,
No.
and I don't see why they would do that, because having somebody there for 5 years isn't always realistic, so.
We need a motion to approve, authorize this, I believe.
Yes.
So moved.
All second.
Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I guess just let me know once you do the math, how you
Yeah.
like to split that out so that I can get that together.
Sure.
Anything else, Dave?
No, I think that's it. Do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it.
So new officer has completed all the training, so
Yep.
everybody's
That's great.
all
Doing good.
good. Good to hear.
I think I've seen
Lot of-
him have
lot of good
people
remarks.
pull over all over the place.
Great.
He's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's hitting county roads like two of the others. Yeah. That's what we want.
So,
Okay. Thanks, Dave. Okay, you ready to join us? all, so, yeah.
Well, I see who keeps looking at it.
Can we bring it up for you?
Maybe we might need napkins or something.
Not long ago.
I didn't bring them, but I'll be the delivery boy.
There you go. Thank you.
And he's been guarding them pretty well
Yeah,
so far.
We wanna start.
Okay, well, first, yeah, list, on the list is more purchase.
We picked up, the deal's not done yet, but we picked up, 10-foot, disc mower instead of the rotary. We have been using it. It is actually been going, oh, yeah.
I think we
Enjoy
should
the
come back
meeting, y'all.
over
Go
this.
have a chat.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of the Oliver County State's Attorney.
She puts some humor into it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll actually finish mowing today. Be all done. So, we're able to not have the tractor in the ditch. We don't have to worry about holes around the culvert, somebody falling in, and, I did take it out for a half a day and we're mowing at about 8 miles an hour,
Compared to,
2.5. So,
so I believe what you said was next year we wouldn't have to lease an extra tractor.
I'm hoping that's the case where we can get rid of the other lease tractor. So, and we traded the one rotary in that we have on this mower, so I think the difference is we have it. You know, we sent you.
Yeah, so this, trade-in allowance was 10,000, so the final balance that we would owe would be $8,245.
And if we had to lease a tractor next year, it'd be another 12,000
Mhm.
potentially.
Mhm.
So we're saving. Make a motion, we approve that purchase.
Second. Okay, we have a motion second. Any further discussion on that one? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Casey sent me the DocuSign, so I'll take care of it after the meeting, so that's
Just
all.
wanted to wait till the meetings.
Yep. So that's all good to go.
The next rotary broom for the lawn tractor, that's the lawn tractor for the courthouse.
I have that here.
Okay, I told him to get it to you here, so. He went and did, so originally, he had a 60-inch broom quoted, which was too wide for the sidewalks. And that was like $4,700 for a brand new one. He went back and Keith had it re-quoted for a 52-inch. So it stays on the sidewalks, we don't have to worry about sprinkler heads and that stuff. And I think come in at 36 or just shy of 37. Yeah.
Now, this for snow removal or
Yep.
it can be used for
Well,
picking up leaves?
No, it's for snow
It's just
removal.
snow removal.
Yeah. So, but it's a lot easier on our new sidewalks and stuff. You know, we have that walk behind one, but I mean, it takes
Well, if you only get an inch of snow,
yeah. And
this will take it right off.
the one we have for the skid steer, we'd use it up to, I think, 3 inches. And it takes it right down to the concrete, you know, versus throwing everything full of ice melt, and that's hard on concrete. And to me, you know, we found some used ones, but they're wanting $2,800, $3,000 for a used one. So we're kind of at the point where you spend the extra $600, get a brand new one, and then we know what we got.
When Keith and I were talking about it, we was getting the estimates, that he could go along the curb on the street side and get it away from the curb so we don't have these ice buildups in the winter. People, you know, trying to step on the sidewalk.
This will come with everything. Yep. Because there
Is
was,
that heavy duty enough, like when the state comes through and they bury our sidewalk with slush and ice?
that, no, but we still have the snow blower part of that tractor too to use, so,
And a pretty nice skid steer.
yeah. So most of the stuff on that end, when they do that, we come up, well, he'll be able to use it too now when he's set up, we can use the skid steer to push it off with that, so.
So we need a approval to purchase.
Move to approve.
Second.
Yeah, motion second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, good.
And I don't, just since Keith has handled it, let him go through and handle it so that he can talk to the same salesman. And I personally think, since he's already handled the bids and stuff.
All road agreements, fees.
I had kind of brought this up a couple months ago, and it's in your packet. These are the current haul road agreement fees. Haul road agreements are for like the gravel companies, like Graco or the fuel, so like Root Oil gets one, Codeco. Right now, this is what they are. They've been this way since 2018. When you get to the 20 trucks and over, a $5,000 flat fee. They could bring 30, 40, 50, whatever. I guess my question to you is that enough for some of the excessive traffic we get with some of these?
Construction projects.
Yeah. So
Or even
just kind of asking the question.
ash, and then we get, let's see, there's up to 5 ash trucks all in a day out in Dakota. They each make 3 to 5 trips a day.
Would a per truck, per thing make sense?
Per trip. How do you police
How do you police
Yeah.
that? That would be
Same
the
way
only
we
thing.
police it now, if you catch you. Oh, catch you, it's gonna be a pretty big fine.
I mean, I think companies that have like 1 to 5 trucks, like Root
Right.
Oil doesn't have very many trucks, but it's the ones that come in that are doing a lot of the heavier hauling. They're going 20 trucks a day or more. That's where the question kind of lies with. We've had issues with some gravel companies coming in and they're flying and they're going constantly and putting up the roads, and is 5,000 enough? I mean, because 5,000 doesn't go very far when you have to go and fix
It's
that road.
$1,000 for the 5 trucks, isn't it?
Mhm.
For graduate road.
Would you have a suggestion? Double it?
That's no.
I mean, we
Or
could
just
get to the
eventually
point where if you're doing 21 to 25 and
2018, 20.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I mean,
No,
if we
that-
have to do every 5 trucks, we add $1,000, we
Oh,
can do that, but
After what we had last summer, yeah, it would be a lot more.
just something that I had brought up a couple months ago and we didn't really do anything, so I figured I'd bring it up again, so.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just looking, like she said, over 25 trucks. How far up do we keep going? Every 5 or?
we double it, we started with 1.
And graduated.
I mean, just about 10 years ago.
Everything else is done in 10 years.
You have any input on that? You're gonna be hauling a lot.
Yeah, I was trying to think, because as soon as you said that, and I think some of the issues are taken care of now with like more engineering in the haul road agreement, but I don't know, it kind of depends what other, like, I don't wanna get into the county business, Kenny knows it a lot better than I do.
And these are used only for like gravel or fuel companies. This is not used for your oversized, overweight,
That's over and
nothing
above.
like this. That is a totally separate system. This is something that, Load Pass I don't think does.
No.
And if they do, it'd be an added cost to us as the county to have them implement that into our system. This is something we do because we do have smaller companies, local companies that do haul. Well, they're still using our roads, but then when we're talking companies that come from out of the city, out of state, whatever.
And they're like Jaden going on, they're on the honor system, okay, they're gonna be here for 6 months, trucking through here. Unless we catch them or they call and tell us.
We don't necessarily know.
Have we compared with other counties?
I haven't
As
looked
to
at
what
other counties, and I
places
don't.
charge?
I don't know that all other counties even do something like this. It depends on which county they are. I would guess the oil counties probably have something, and I'm gonna guess it's a lot higher than this because their traffic is substantially more. I mean, I can look into it and we can see if there's a comparison in December.
Make some phone calls just to see what the other counties around us are doing.
Yeah,
And
I just
think we
figured I'd
should,
bring
yeah.
this to your attention because I know we've had issues with the amounts of trucks that have been going and.
So Kyle, do you know how many loads you guys hauled out there this summer?
I don't off the top of my head, Dave. I could definitely get it to you.
Now this next summer for that next project, you won't be hauling there as much, right?
We'll be hauling quite a bit again.
Oh,
You
This
know
was just
Knife
a-
River, right?
Yeah, Knife River.
So they got a permit for the 20+ trucks, so
Yeah.
they did pay $5,000. It wasn't just that they said, we're gonna probably have that many, if not more.
Yeah.
So they did the 5,000. Now the question becomes, is that not enough for the amount of traffic that they are putting on those roads? Especially ones that haven't been used heavily before.
Cause that was a loop, you know, they come down 49, went in, come out, went up, hence the road empty. That was all in our aggregate, so. It was all under Underwood, correct?
Yeah.
that was probably well over 50 trucks up there. Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're telling me just passes on the road, some days they
It's
had
just one
10
they-
trucks running
That's
doing
why they didn't open
3 loads a day.
plans, cause they
So,
could get
sometimes 4.
through cheaper,
Gotcha.
so.
I think it's a good idea. Look into it.
Okay, I
See
can,
what the neighbors are doing.
Yeah, then we'll,
Yeah, then we can revisit it.
we'll get a little info, a little more info, and then we'll make a decision.
So, sorry, can I just, I'm confused on the
Road permit
difference between this and a road use agreement.
the road use agreement is an agreement with, say, BNI or Minnesota Power for the use of our roads for your construction purposes. You have to follow certain rules of helping maintain, getting the load pass permits. The haul road agreement is purely for, from my understanding, now this has been in place since before I started, is for like gravel truck companies or fuel hauling, because they have, X amount of trucks for that company, and they're gonna be using our roads like this,
You can't get a copy from Jamie.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I think I've been kind of trying to struggle with that a little bit too, is I think the haul road agreements that you guys do cover a lot of it and keep the county from taking on a lot of costs. I'm just wondering about this agreement, what it does on a large project, I guess.
Well, this one isn't for, this is more of a multi-use road, where the actual haul agreement.
Got it.
So like, say the fuel companies, they don't use that particular load, it's for them for use throughout the county.
I guess the only thing I would put as input is if for both you guys and the contractor or whoever holds this agreement, try to make it as least administrative as possible. I mean, if you start trying to count every load, then you have
Right.
a list of paperwork
well,
a
and
mile long.
that's
too.
where the fees are, it's 1 to 5 trucks, you pay $1,000. You can use the road as many times as you want to, it's just that we know that you're using the road. Like right now, Branco, they get a permit for the BNI road, they get a permit for the Minn Kota road, and they had one with, for the Summit project years ago. They get it specifically for that road, cause they're always going.
Same with the guys hauling ash out of Minn Kota, they get one every year.
Yeah, we're more than willing to work with you guys on anything, just trying to keep it as simple as possible, as Millie suggested.
Well, and if there's a way that we can combine or, do something different than this has been in place since well before I started. So this is just something that I'm following what has been in place, but I'm asking the question because the question has been asked of me. 20 trucks for $5,000 it's a year-long permit. They get it from, say today, and then next year the day, I can look into it.
Okay,
Yeah, I guess yeah. No, I think my only thought is it sounds like I think the project ones, which we're more familiar with, what me and Kyle are coming from. I think those have really we've changed those a lot over the last couple of years, expanded them. That I think they're probably on a project base are probably way further ahead of this.
Yes.
So it seems like if you maybe would have a project one, this one wouldn't. Maybe do one or the other almost.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's what it is. It is one of the-
Yeah.
Okay,
So
then that's
you
just
guys,
giving me a better
As
understanding of what we're
Minnesota
talking about.
Power have the road use and maintenance agreement. Yours, Knife River gets one from us for an entire year to haul. It's not B&I getting a haul road and B&I getting a road use agreement.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, you
Thank
would
for
not
explaining.
double up.
You can tell us just to be quiet. So we're good.
okay, what's next?
We had some road permitting issues on a previous gravel pit that was used last year. They sent in for a permit last 29th,
Last week.
last Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
But due to the rain, no?
Yeah, I mean, this
It's
is under
under
investigation, so I would just ask that we not talk about it.
Okay, well, we haven't brought up really yet, so.
There's an investigation ongoing into load pass violations. I don't think it's wise to talk about it in open.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, no. And then from there, we're big guy.
Or engineering.
Afternoon, Commissioners. I just have some housekeeping items from the last meeting that were approved. One is just our general MSA for engineering services.
I printed off copies for all of them.
Okay. I've got copies, or one for your signature, Lee. I've got two for signatures. I'll take one, you'll take one. So just getting that, this just sets for the standards for the standard terms and conditions for engineering services, so we can kind of streamline the task order on projects instead of having a real long, lengthy project manual for everything that we do. This one just kind of sets all the terms and conditions for it. So, Patrick's reviewed that and gave it approval, so I got that for you. Number 2 is a task order then. We talked about last meeting, starting the study phase on that B&I road. Just to get moving on that, we have that Flex Fund grant in for that project to get funded, but we could start on the study phase right now to get ahead of things. If it does get awarded in the winter, we've got some info to get moving on that. So I got same thing, signature from you, Lee, one for you, one for me. And then the county major collector routes, we had discussed, the possibility of moving those state routes. I've got a template for you guys. Jaden has the actual Word document, but
I did print a copy off.
yeah, I've got or you guys maybe have it.
It's in there. It's in the packet.
You got it. So if you want to pursue that, there's a template there for you to get after it, or you can send me the info and I can fill it all out and get it moving along. But yeah, one thing to note on that is just if it is a paved road, that does affect the formula funding that comes to the county for the prairie dog fundings and now how the flex funds distributed on a formula basis. So it's just something to be aware of. If it's a paved road that you'd be pushing to the state, that might significantly
Reduce what we're getting.
Yeah.
So we're looking for motion to approve signing of these.
We already approved these in
Yeah.
the previous meeting. You just need to
Last
sign
meeting,
them.
it just gotta be signed, it wasn't drawn
It
up.
was all
Yeah.
approved, and I just need to sign it. Okay.
So I guess if you sign it, it's all on you.
I can leave them with you too and pick up one or two, but
Okay, I'll get that done. Okay.
Then the last thing, there's a new grant called Rural Catalyst Grant, just to bring to your attention. It awards up to $500,000. It's a 50% match, but it's for small communities. To fund projects that are economic drivers or recreation, kind of improve life, I guess is what it says here. But there's a deadline of January 7th for that. Opening rural grocery stores, libraries, education, anything that, services the community, I would try to think of, and that, it can be anything really. Just something that.
Now, is that related to the USDA thing?
I believe it could be. It depends on the project. I think a lot of projects you'll think of for this probably have another funding mechanism too. So we would talk about them together.
But this is a different grant though. This could be, you could use this towards the one.
Toward the same thing, yeah.
So just something to bring to your attention. Got a little one-page summary on it. Try to think of projects. We got some time to put that together. January 7th and then February 6th for awards. Like Mercer County's going to do one for kind of a consolidated county services building, remodel of that to kind of house all the services in one building rather than have everything spread out. So that's one project. But anything with the river, boat docks, archery, range, gun range, stuff like that. Anything to think of. Just for information for you.
Any questions of, I got Kenny for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything more for more engineering. Anything we need to
So,
discuss?
you guys also represent the city. Have they been approached for some of this? Yes.
Yeah, they'd be made aware of it, yeah. I haven't specifically, but AJ talked to me there. Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, I'll just, meet with the city and maybe come up with something, more than one project or whatever. Try to work together on it. Cause there are several things.
January 6th, you said, deadline on it?
Yep. No, January 7th, February 6th was the award. So, and it doesn't reimburse anything. You have to wait till you're awarded to get a bill. Yeah, they won't reimburse you for any.
Okay, you'll do that?
Yeah, I'll work with them on that and get something going. Cause we've talked about a grocery store and other things like that, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Kenny, I got a call from Russell Warren.
Yeah.
And I went out and checked that road, and I very well see why he called.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't have a gravel road, he's got a total mud road.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever done any work on that road?
Well,
Does he use, that's his only access, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was the next era haul road. I talked to him earlier.
Yep.
And he said he was gonna talk with them and get gravel put on there since they were using that. That's as far as it went.
Well, I think it's, I've got texts.
That's one of them that didn't get completed.
Yeah.
Well, so
Well,
they did haul some on.
they hauled 2 loads.
And he said that was good enough. And now he wants the county to finish it. And Mark Dahl was trying to work with him. I've got it all on text. I had a text with him and Mark on it.
Cause he's contacted Dave and Rob both. And I've talked to him a couple times earlier on when next era was supposed to be graveling it. And I hadn't heard from him since. So, and I've been on there, we bladed it. And like when he texted last week now, I mean, it's too late. I mean, our gravel pit's literally sitting in water right now. So as far as getting it done this year anymore, not gonna happen.
So we can do something with the road.
Yeah, and I told him, but it wouldn't be till spring.
Oh, okay.
But, we should have jumped on when next era was doing it.
He could have pushed it with next year and
Okay.
So.
because they were willing to help. And that was way before they ran out of gravel.
How about putting scoria on it? A lot more cheaper, right? A lot more reasonable, and that's There isn't virtually any traffic on that road.
Yeah, it's $300 a load to put Scorio on there. Is what we're paying for our Scorio right now.
Well, it's 400.
Last bill we said it was 300 a
I
load.
gotta look at it, I don't know.
Okay,
From-
Yeah, because it used to be.
But we did, it increased significantly
Right.
from what it used to be. I mean, it used to be like pretty much nothing.
Yeah, $60.
Yeah,
So,
I think it went from 300 to 400. It was 300 and he increased it.
So, yeah,
so,
okay, everybody's aware of
Yep,
what happened there then, and he's not gonna get left out.
no, and like I told him, I said, come spring, because now after everything was pushed off each side from being used, we should be pulling it back up and before we gravel it. You know, and that's what I told him when I talked to him, and he was good with it. Well, then we got 2 weeks of rain here, and we're back to square one.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, it's in rough shape, but you know, we had an opportunity there to take care of it when they were using it, and it was never.
Okay, good enough.
So,
If I remember right, that was highly traveled by next era too.
well, that was one of their main blades that turned in. That's one of the approaches they widened. So,
Patty. Planning and zoning updates.
We already had a couple permits. First one is Chris Gibson. Wants to build a garage.
Who's that?
Chris Gibson. Out at 3210 15th Street Southwest. Garage is a 40 by 72.
No,
Yeah, it's out here, yeah, it's out by Stabley's, right here. They have a house already out there. Yeah. They just added
oh,
This is what, like, the house is right here, and then he's building, I mean, just huge garage, yes. Heated, floor drain, I may go
Gone through planning and zoning, and
They approved
they
it,
approved it.
yep. Saw no issue with it.
Okay, they're just looking for a building permit.
Correct.
Okay, good.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second. Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approved.
And sign down there.
That's who built your line, no. Oh, okay.
And
So, yeah, this is- it's gotta be approved by something, isn't it? I think so. Oh, sure. Okay.
yeah, so Greg Myers,
Stepson.
stepson James. I actually printed these out for you guys, just so you guys can see it. You don't have to keep it, but this is what he's going to be building. It's on one of the pages. Or this is what it's built to right now, where it is. And so they want to add a garage right next to it. So I kind of put it in there for you.
Second, please.
Yeah.
Bring the view.
So the house right like this is sitting like this, okay? So they want to add, and I already talked to the builder, but they want to just add and go past the house like this way. So, but I wanted to give you a picture so you can see it's pretty much right here and up. So,
And also been approved by the.
yep. That has been-
Move to approve. Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Aye. We're approved.
And then do you have that stuff you wanna give to them?
I was just gonna do updates on the ordinance. that we're working on right now.
What about the other one?
Oh, yeah. So, this one's nice.
Thank you.
Patty, that's all you have?
Oh, we have more.
Just brief, very brief.
Brief. So we're doing ordinances right now, so we just kind of want to.
So we're working on solar. It's going very well. I'm hoping that we'll actually have it done sooner than later. You know, kind of getting little tweaks here and there. I know there's been input from both NL and Nextera, who know more about it than we do. So that's going well. The other thing that I just was going to give to you, we don't have to talk about it. I know I mentioned it to each of you that direct air capture contacted me. When I talked to them, they're going to come probably in the December meeting, and it'll be virtually, so they're not going to be here in person. But Morton County did approve a direct air capture carbon dioxide collection ordinance earlier this year, this early fall, whatever. This is what they have. So I'm just giving it to you to look over, and if you are good with it, I was gonna just show it to the planning and zoning board to kind of look at and maybe consider
I think
looking at for our purposes
regardless of
also.
what you guys, I mean, I think we're gonna bring it up at the meeting because we're waiting for, what is it? League of Cities and stuff to do, which one?
Data centers.
Data centers.
We're not doing anything with data centers because the League of Cities and the NDACO are working on a template one that would be, rather than us recreating similar to this, I don't want to start from scratch anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It takes up way more time than is necessary when there's other counties and other entities who have worked on these, have gone through all the processes, and we would just be able to take them and use them, adjust them to our purposes. So if you're good with it, you know, I'd like to at least start looking at these also. I guess in my mind, we should have something. We should have some rules for when they come in and want to do this, citing, that kind of stuff. They did, I believe they work with, the company is called Retract, right? Morton County did. So they had an industry representative there working on these ordinances with them. So it's not like they came in and just made it up themselves. They had somebody who knew what these types of facilities did or potentially would look like working with them.
And I believe they had 7 meetings, because I was at 2 of them.
I know they had a lot. I did speak with their planning director, and she just said, you know, this is what we have, adjusted as needed to make it fit what your county has for rules and regulations. So just kind of putting that out there. They will be coming, this company that contacted me, it's not Retract, it's
Bozeman?
the person that contacted me is out of Bozeman. I don't know where the company is based out of. They said that they would potentially be here for a December meeting virtually. So they will not be, not that I'm aware of, in person. So, but just kind of putting that on your guys' radar to let you know that we have been contacted by another type of industry.
So I make a motion, Rob, read this and memorize it and get back to us next meeting.
All right, any questions?
Thanks, Patty.
No problem. You guys have a good day.
No, I'll read it, but I won't memorize it.
Don't worry, I won't edit, but she's reading it if it ever becomes annoying.
Thanks, Patty.
Yeah, no problem.
Portfolio reports. You have anything to report? You know anything?
Well, like we were all at the NDACO meeting, that was very interesting, good information. Then the 29th, Wednesday, I was up at Beulah. Jaden and I went up to the
Vision West.
Vision West. That was even more interesting of the things that are coming to not just Oliver County. County's close. So there's a lot of good, it'll be good for employment, but there's a lot of big things happening. As far as Kenny's been keeping me up to date, and Keith, on what's going on with the courtyard and roads. In fact, I went out on a couple trips with Kenny, looked at culverts and other issues, and everything's been going good. In the last 2 weeks, I've received 6 phone calls and every one of them has been good, and one of them is one that usually isn't always happy, but he was. He was very happy with the roads. And I relayed that to Kenny yesterday. If I told you who, you'd go, what, who? You'd say, wow. But it's good. So nothing but good coming out of them, all of the calls.
So, don't report that anymore now, that's enough. Everything's good, okay.
And then a high note.
Rob, do you have anything?
No, I'm working on something. I'll report that next month.
I probably covered some of the stuff under your area with the SNAP program and all that already with Mo. As far as, I guess my area, we're gonna talk a little about this here. So we have the applicants for the weed board coming up next year, so. We'll move on to that then, weed board.
You wanna skip the front door quotes?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, we can skip those
No,
and
no,
go
let's
back.
do that. I overlooked that.
No, that's
Or
okay.
the light.
Yes, so the lights underneath the canopy out front they're fading out, they're dying. I had Ryan come and look at them. He said it'd be better off replacing the fixtures versus trying to get the parts to fix them because they're starting to become outdated. So I have a quote from him for the 8 outside lights and labor. Wiring will be in accordance to the NEC code. It's $4,360 to get them replaced and fixed and updated, and they should be bright. I mean, I've stood out there this summer in the evenings after planning and zoning meetings or something. It's pretty faded. It's getting hard to see. So if people are standing outside and at night.
We have money in our maintenance budget.
This could be
Those
considered a
maintenance?
capital projects because it's maintenance and repair of the courthouse facilities, so we should be fine. More than fine, actually. That would be.
We need a second quote.
I can get a second quote. I've had issues getting other quotes from electric companies, but it's below that threshold where we should be fine. And because he's local, I know we try to give local people our business a little bit more, so. He's been very, Ryan Roble, Empower Electric. He's the one that's been working on our lights. He's still working on that project. It works around his regular day job schedule, so. But if you are okay with it, approving this, then I
Let's have a
can.
motion to.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion second. All in favor? Aye.
Perfect. Thank you. I will let him know.
Weed board appointments.
So I have 2 applicants. We have 1 open position, and that is on the far eastern part of the county here. That was the district that Linda was in, that she resigned. So I have Deirdre Forstner, who lives in Hensler, I believe, and then Kendall Price. They both have applied. They're both in that district as far as I can. The Hensler one is a little, it follows the highway, so I think it follows the Hensler Road, goes up to 200 and goes like this, so she should be within that district.
Keith would be Arnie Fisher's daughter.
And then Kendall Price is Gary's wife. I don't know Deirdre, I know Kendall a little bit, so I have no input.
That's the big pretty map in there.
Switch to our view.
Mary's already recommended family on one of our.
He's on planning and zoning.
And planning and zoning. So I would suggest that, and I know her really well, and she would do a great job, they do it. She really has an interest in something like that, so I would recommend that we appoint her to the board.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I am too. You need a motion, I suppose?
Yes,
I'll make that motion to, or give your official to the board. Second.
here's a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye.
I will let her know. Thanks.
This may be the first time ever we've had more interest than
City got spots.
we've had more openings than we have interest. Okay, election updates, Jane.
So, I have a packet of all kinds of fun election things because we actually have to start thinking about the 26 elections. I brought these to you last month and I do have now actual resolution. I did send them to Patrick to look over. So the first one is to change us from the vote by mail election county to a regular election and absentee voting, which basically means currently we have to mail out all of the absentee applications to active voters. We maybe get 25%, maybe even less than that back for ballots to be sent out. So we're spending postage, printing envelopes, all this money on something that we don't necessarily have to. It was put in place during COVID. When we went for the primary, I believe it was purely vote by mail. They switched it to that versus an in-person voting. And then we just stayed vote by mail, opened up the courthouse as the polling place and did both. But now we're having to, by this vote that took place, we have to mail out the applications. Where if we would do away with that, you can still vote absentee. You can send in an application or request one from my office. We send it out to you. It would save us.
What does this cost us? Do you remember?
I'd have to look, but in the thousands. I mean, it's not an election cost total. That's with everything, printing, publishing, whatever. 30,000. It's not. I mean, this is a savings that would help for those purposes. I don't like printing out paper that's just gonna get thrown away. I do that enough when I accidentally print something in my office. And when I have to do it for this, like I said, it's not prohibiting or hindering anybody from getting an absentee ballot. It's just that they do have to contact us to get that application, or they can pull it up online if they have access to a computer. It's just we don't have to automatically send it out. And with postage costs not decreasing anytime soon, I mean, this would help significantly.
So you recommend that we pass the resolution?
This is what I'm recommending. It doesn't change how we do our elections here, other than I don't have to mail those out in March.
That's pretty good savings.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Could I hear a motion to approve this resolution 2025-5?
I would make that motion.
And I'll second.
We have a motion second. Any other discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Approved.
Thank you. So then the next one, this one does not have to be done until the 31st of December, but we have talked about it. We have to establish our voting precincts by the end of this year. I see I have the typo on there. It should be 2026, so I'd have to fix that. We moved to a 1 precinct county 2 years ago. it has helped significantly with our printing costs for ballots. We don't have to print quite as many because we're not having to split it out by, precinct 1 through 7. Especially during the primary season, some people would get the wrong ballot accidentally and they'd be voting on the wrong thing, and then we'd have all kinds of issues. This has helped a lot. We have moved to a vote center where this is the only polling location, the courthouse is. That actually helps because we don't have the equipment to have more than one polling location, but it helps also with the administration of the election. So if our workers have questions, then we right down the hall. I would recommend keeping it the way it is, because I have not heard from anyone else that we need to increase our precinct amounts. So, any opinions? We don't have to decide today. This one can wait until our December meeting if you want another month to think about it. But this one is required by law to decide by the 31st of December.
Well, it's a lot more work to go to 2 different, or 3.
Well, we wouldn't have to increase our polling locations. If we increased precincts, we could still stay at a vote center where they would come here. It would just be, we'd have several different ballot styles, meaning like rather than the one ballot that we can give out to everybody in a general election. Primary is different because we've got schools, city, fire, whatever type of election splits. So there's typically, I think we had 4 last year, 4 or 5 different types. But moving from one precinct to say 4, if we split the county in quarters or whatever, doesn't change how many places we'd have to set up for voting. That could stay here. Precincts, the biggest effect precincts have would be on your local political parties and how many delegates they would get at their local district events. Oliver County has decent turnout, but as far as delegates go, when we had 7 precincts, at least 2 of them never had any representation. At least on the Republican side. I don't know about the Democrat side, but because I think I've only ever heard from the Republican side in our county up until last year. There was a Democrat district, but I don't know if there was anybody representing the county. So just kind of throwing that out there. Don't think about it till next month. I'm good with that.
Jane recommends that we go ahead with it. That's one of her primary
It makes my job
responsibilities.
easier. It really
Yes,
does. And
yes.
yes, the election is something that, by law, that's what I do part of the time.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made, second by Rob. Any further discussion on this one? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Approved.
Okay, the next one is the election JPA, so joint powers. We are actually required to have one with the city, by century code. And because we run the elections for the city, the school, the county, and the park district, the Secretary of State's office has recommended that we enter into a joint powers agreement with all of those entities. This agreement that I modeled off of Burleigh County, Patrick has also looked this one over. There is no cost to any of those entities. We take the cost on because to try to split out, 50 ballots for this or whatever and say, here you owe us 25 cents per ballot. Is it worth it? Probably not. We're already printing the ballots. It does say in there that if any of their contests would make us have more than a front and back ballot, they would then assume the cost. And then recounts, we have typically had them pay the amount. If there's something in here that you don't like, we can always adjust it. That's not an issue.
I'll just show you this sentence. If the city requires absentee or vote by mail, they're responsible for all that.
Yes, so if they would say, we are requiring you to mail out an application to every one of our eligible voters, they would have to pay for that, the postage, the printing, the envelopes, where, because we now just moved from vote by mail back to traditional, we don't have to do that, so if they're gonna tell me, hey, we need to do this, then they get to pay for it all, so. And that, in there, it also includes staffing costs, so I mean, if it takes Linda or I 5 hours to stuff stuff the envelopes and mail them out, we get to take our hourly wages and include that, so.
So you'd like some more questions on that?
Well, we have to take this to the city and the school, but if you guys, I mean, joint powers agreement wise, if this is something you guys are good with, we can approve it on our end, take it to them. If they disagree, then, I mean,
It's still not good.
I mean,
So right now, we can take it to them and say that we recommend doing it before we make a decision.
we could, absolutely. I can email this to both the school and the city this afternoon and say this is what was looked at. We haven't approved anything. If they have comments or concerns, they need to let us know. This is something, at least for the city, that is required. They do have to have a joint powers agreement with us. That's something that I wasn't aware of. We've just always done the cities and the schools' elections.
I say we follow through with it.
I mean, I don't wanna get in trouble with the Secretary of State's office, so I would really.
Recommending goes, comes back
Or
to
the city and the school.
Okay, I will send it to them and have them give it to their respective boards and let us know, and we'll revisit it next month. And a little bit of fun news for you guys, it's for all elected officials. The legislature has now changed it where every elected official is required to fill out a campaign finance and disclosure and statement of interest form, which is due back in my office like at the end of January. So. It's a change, it's a legislative change. If you don't get money from donors, if you don't spend money on a campaign, you put $0, you still have to turn it in to me. It is a requirement, it's a transparency thing. If somebody comes in and says, hey, I wanna know how much Rob spent on campaigning, I have to provide that information to them, and if you don't turn it in, I don't know what the penalty is, but I don't want to find out either, so.
I was just thinking if I donate $5 to Rob's campaign, he'd have to fill it out.
You would have to fill it out. Yeah, you would have to fill it out. So this, I will send an email reminder at the beginning of January that this is due by January 31st. Whatever.
And that's these forms here.
That is what these forms are, yes. And there's a handy calendar, and required report on the back of this front page here, so this is for any elected official, including myself. So I will fill one out and stick it in a file, so I will send one out to all county elected officials at the beginning of January so that they are aware that they have to do this.
So we don't need to do anything.
You don't have to do anything with that one, just don't forget to fill it out and give it to me.
Holiday closures.
So Christmas falls on a Thursday this year. And there's been emails going out in the auditors group, how many counties are gonna be closed on Friday? Because it's, whatever, there's probably gonna be a lot of people that take time off. I did include in your packets here, there's an email from the Stutzman County Auditor that they just switched their policy, and that's attached to the back of all the holidays that they are closed. They typically follow a lot of the federal holidays, which we have in our policy manual. But they actually switched it now to, they're closed on Columbus Day, and I know years ago, the commission here, I think, switched it to where we don't take Columbus Day off, and we get the Friday after Thanksgiving off. We swapped it, so, but they apparently switched it to, they get the entire Christmas Eve day off, and then if Christmas falls on a Thursday, they also get Friday off. or if it, I don't think they did it where it falls on a Tuesday, they get Monday off, cause you get Christmas Eve off, but we do have it in our policy already that if a holiday falls on a Saturday, you get the Friday off, or if it falls on a Sunday, you get the Monday off, except for Easter, because that's just a religious holiday and not a federally observed holiday. So I guess I'm just kind of looking to see what your thoughts are, mostly for Christmas this year. If there's any thoughts on changing our policy as far as which days we would get for holidays, especially those that fall on like a Thursday. I think we did that once for 4th of July. Was it 2 years ago? It fell on a Tuesday and you gave us half a day the next day off, so I mean,
I think we should give everyone a Friday off after, because they normally work a half day on Friday or so. Why not give them a Christmas weekend?
We got final period of things.
and this is Stutzman County's policy. I just printed off because she sent it to us. This is not something that especially that last portion that you're looking at, it's not something we need to do. I'm more looking at the days.
If we get a storm, they gotta go out.
Well, and I know at one time Alice had said we shouldn't allow banking, but like something of this, there are a lot of them doing it, allowing it.
This would be different than your, like, the regular banking that was
For
happening. This
overtime,
would be specifically for if they ended up getting called out on a holiday, or law enforcement especially. One of them is always going to be working on, or two of them will always be working on holiday. So whether they, get paid that extra amount or, like this, in this situation.
Worker won't be working that Friday,
Unless it snows.
Unless it snows.
that's an emergency then.
Yeah.
So do we need a motion to adopt this?
Well, if you like this entire policy, yeah, absolutely. But if you don't like it, I don't want you guys to adopt it with,
Let's just do the 26th of December.
we can discuss this at a later date also, this entire change of, yeah. This was just something that's been a hot topic in the auditor's email group the last several days about who gets Friday off and who doesn't, so. And I'm all about improving morale in the county a little bit, so. So, I guess at this point, if we just have a motion for Christmas, and we can revisit this at a different time, I'm good with that.
So,
I'll second.
Okay, what's the motion?
take off the 26th of December. Unless for emergency reasons they gotta come in.
Okay, any other discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
And we will be here half the day on Christmas Eve, that's our, we do work till noon on Christmas Eve.
You guys too?
I mean, if it's a Thursday, I would guess you would guys work till noon, and
I
then
always work both days.
for Christmas Eve?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, that I didn't know. It's maybe something we have to look at.
Pass out some job applications around here.
What now, sidewalk drainage?
So in tying with this project that they're doing on the south side, how they wanna expand, widen the drainage, I was informed that there is actually, in the courthouse lawn, there was a drainage hole
Mm-hmm.
that got filled in, I don't know when, but that was supposed to help with the pooling of the water on the
Mhm.
street, and that got filled in, and now that's why there's big issues with the
I would say it was like 8 years ago that got filled in.
The only thing
Shortly
that got filled
after
in
Yolanda was done.
was on the
here,
discharge
from my
side.
Yes, yes.
Got filled in. Nothing got filled in on the courthouse side.
Well,
There's a hole in the lawn.
Yes, and you can still see where the dip is.
There's a dip, yeah.
wasn't that something to do with when the inflatables got brought in? Cause there was a hole and kids, if they were running around.
Yeah, but that hole led to that pipe underneath the street.
On the street, yeah, and that's what Lee's talking about on
Yeah,
the other
the other
side.
side is south.
Yeah, it
That was a big
drains
hole.
into the
There was a
creek.
huge drop
So
off.
there is, but in the courthouse lawn, right beside the drainage,
That should have never got filled
it
in.
got filled in. I don't know when, it was shortly after Yolanda left, from
Yeah.
my understanding. And it was never supposed to have been filled in, because that helped with the pooling of the water in the street. And it, you know, it was not excessive like it is now, and now we have this problem where they wanna widen the drain, where had this hole not been filled in, we probably wouldn't have as big of an issue. So I don't know what we need to do to fix that, but
Well, I
Just
think the
thought I'd
biggest
bring
thing
it
with
to
the
your
hole is there was really not a cover over it. It was just the hole.
yeah.
So I don't know.
So a piece of grading or
There
something.
was a grading over top of it.
So
One time.
well, I wonder where, unless it in that hole.
Do you remember how wide it is?
I don't.
You do?
Dave, yes?
I would check back from somewhere in 98 to 2006. And I think we had KLJ look at that situation and they said they didn't see any issue. But I suppose, you know, being that drain is on the north side of the street slopes that way. So that's probably where the pooling is coming from. You know, type of thing. But I would check back that far. I remember.
This is just
that
what I
we-
was informed
we
of,
did
so I
something
guess
to
if I
that
have to
effect.
look through 10 years of minutes, I can do that, but I was just told that it was there because it helped with the drainage purpose where the street drain was able to take in the water and this was also taking like heavy rain and it went out into the creek. And it didn't pool as
Right.
bad.
I remember it being there.
I don't know. I'm just asking you guys what you wanna do, cause I was informed of this, and I know now we're doing this whole project with the sidewalk and the drain, and is there something extra we can do to assist with this? Cause even if we make it wider, is there still gonna be an issue? I don't know.
I can't see what we're doing with that sidewalk out there right now would have anything to do with flooding of a driveway on half a block away. I questioned him on that the other day out there and he said, well, they had to remove the sidewalk because it was kind of crawling. But the city is the ones that met with him on that project. And we agreed to pay half of the solution, but we agreed to pay $7,000. But
was
there was,
50%.
but it said in the contract, we agreed to pay half.
Well, we did
35.
say 50% because there was conversation after the motion was made and approved that maybe the amount could be decreased because you guys could do removal of the concrete.
Yeah, and then
So it was 50% because we didn't know what the final dollar amount would be.
Let's say we stick with that, right?
We did agree to do that, yes.
I'm just making you guys aware. I don't know if you wanna do anything about it or not. I just thought I'd let you know.
Apparently they're gonna have water running. I don't know if it's underneath the road there or not, I don't think so. I don't know. Okay. I think we'll just wait and see if it gets done, and it's gotta be done with the city's approval.
Okay.
Anything else?
The DEQ letter, so we received, or I received, it is a public notice for North Dakota Underground Injection Control Program permit issuance for 2 Class 1 non-hazardous waste injection wells and a proposed aquifer exemption for Dakota Aquifer at Minnesota Power. It's a public notice coming from the DEQ, and there's a public comment period that ends on December 14th. If there's questions, you have to contact DEQ. I guess if there's questions, comments, concerns regarding this permit that Minn Kota has submitted.
So this is a different injections that they,
That is like
Done?
non-hazardous waste injection, so it's not like their Project Tundra, it's, I wish somebody from.
Hazardous waste.
It says non-hazardous.
Oh, really?
Yes, it does say non-hazardous on there. When I first read it, I thought that's what it said, and then I reread it and it says non-hazardous, so. I guess there's nobody from Minn
so we should
Kota.
have someone from Minn Kota. Explain this.
I mean, I guess if you have questions, it says in there to contact that DEQ. You can submit public comment with concerns, I would guess also. I don't think there's gonna be an actual public hearing unless there's several comments of negative or whatever, I would guess, but similar to the PSC, I feel like they put out a public comment period. If they don't get any comments, they don't have to have a hearing and they just move forward.
Well, I guess we proposed aquifer exemption.
I can make copies of that letter if you wanna take it and then you can call.
Yes, I'd like that.
Okay.
If you guys want, I can contact Minn Kota and then let Jane know, she can let you guys know.
I can make copies and get you guys in.
Yeah, Scott Hawcroft is environmental. So I'll talk to him.
He's been the one coordinating all of it.
That's all I got for that. And then I guess if we wanna talk the 26th calendar. I don't suppose you brought your copies with you.
No, I didn't.
Okay. I'll just come over here, we can share. So this is what I gave you at the meeting. I know I talked to Dave probably yesterday, or whatever day it was. We had talked about moving to Tuesdays, because we were moving because of potential court conflict. I'm good with that. I know I have some Thursdays on there. We can move it to Tuesdays. So January, I made a new one this morning. I didn't put anything for January. So I had the 8th, which is a Thursday, and that's because January is the start of a new year. We're talking end of month, beginning of year, end of year. There's payroll, and this one, we should be good with moving it to the 13th. If you are,
That'd be the second Tuesday.
it would be the second Tuesday. The problem with pushing it kind of like past the 10th is then you start to get almost too late in the month, depending on when that falls. But that one should be fine. Then we'll have all the bills and the new year stuff figured out.
So here we are in April, back to the first Tuesday.
Well, and that's where I switched it now to where February, March, I have the 10th. April, I did move it to the 7th.
Then you got bills to pay.
That should be okay. I don't wanna push it back to the 14th. We're starting to get mid-month and it gets to be too late with a lot of these bills that need to be approved and that kind of stuff. So April, I did move to Tuesday the 7th. May, Tuesday the 5th. Unless you wanna push it back to the 12th. You guys tell me. As long as it stays on a Tuesday, I think it's better for scheduling. Instead of moving from a Tuesday to a Thursday back to a Tuesday, maybe a Monday, not a Monday. June, there's an election, and I really don't wanna move it to the Thursday following the election. But Tuesday the 2nd is really, really early in the month for your bill paying purposes, apportionment, that kind of stuff. So I did put that one on Thursday the 4th.
So the 9th is election day.
The 9th is, yes, that is the primary election. That's, so July, I think I had on there Thursday the 9th. I did move that to the 7th. That, if you're good with that, I'll put that to the 7th. August, I didn't put anything yet, because the first falls on a Saturday. We're talking like bills, apportionment, that kind of thing isn't gonna get done till the 3rd
So
or the
can we move
4th.
that to the 11th, so it's a Tuesday?
We could, that one we could do.
Okay, yep.
September, I didn't put anything because the second Tuesday falls on the day after a holiday. Also, we're looking at the deadline of the September 7th to October 7th for our budget hearing purposes. I guess my thoughts on budget hearing, and we'll have to do a formal approval next year, is to have a separate day purely for our budget hearing and purely for our budget approval, instead of lumping it in with our regular commission meeting. Cause I don't wanna repeat of the long meeting, it's too much, especially when we're trying to focus on our line items and everything like that. So, that being said, our regular meeting for September,
So we went to the 8th, would that be a big deal, be set at 1 o'clock? Even though it's after a holiday?
yes, it'd be a huge deal. No, it's fine, if you wanna do it on the 8th.
Well, I just like it so the
No,
public
it's
isn't
fine,
saying
yes.
Thursday this month, Tuesday next.
I'm gonna have a problem. I'm saying, no, I'm just kidding, it's fine, we can make that work. I will,
Whatever.
as far as budget hearing goes, so long as it's between the 7th and the 7th, my thoughts are like end of September. Because we're looking at, if we do October, that the 6th would be your last day for your budget approval, or if the 7th is your last day for budget approval.
So you're looking at the 22nd?
If you wanna do the 22nd or the 29th. Because realistically, what we could do is do the budget hearing at the beginning half of it, after you've gone through everything, you line it up, approve, all in one day, if you want to do it that way.
That'd be on the 6th, you're talking, of October, on 22nd
In
September.
September, you could do all of that in one day, we could. So long as it's done between the 7th and the 7th, the hearing, and then your final approval.
So you look at 15th or 22nd.
Or the 29th.
That's that way we refresh what we're going to do and
I'm fine with that. I mean,
delaying it to 2 weeks.
Okay, good, Rob?
I can't think of anything that objects to that.
October,
next year.
October 6th, yeah, and obviously, if we do need to move because of other things that come up with your schedules, we'll do that. October 6th, November 10th works out really well because election is the week before. And I already did a commission meeting once on the same week as election and it was miserable, so. And then December, we do a regular meeting and then we do the year-end meeting, so I have the 8th and the 29th. So, I will compile all this for final approval consideration next month. But I wanted to get your guys' ideas, so I know we talked about it last month.
So Jen, we're still back at Thursday the 4th then.
That is the only one that would be on a Thursday, purely because of election and beginning of the month. That'd be the only one.
Okay.
And I know we've done meetings on like the 1st or 2nd of the month before, but those are really hard to do when you're talking about approving bills and getting actual numbers and figures that you need to approve, because there's nothing ready on the 1st or 2nd of the month usually, or very little. So,
So we do it.
okay, I'll I'll compile all that, get it nice and typed up and
We'll pull them out, keep them right away.
What now?
Pull mine out right away.
Okay, do we have anything else that we need to cover at today's meeting?
I have nothing.
Else, my agenda, right? Yeah. Oh, I got it. Have we covered everything on here?
So.
Anything further? Patrick, you have anything first?
Got nothing.
No one else has anything? Meeting adjourned.
Oh, yeah, that's a.